What class in high school was the most pointless class to exist? Whatever the last class on a Friday was. Culinary with no budget to cook because it was expensive. Health. It was covered in 10th grade, by which time it was too late for most of the grade. Intro to computers. The actual subject is absolutely not pointless, but the class itself was. They were teaching the most basic of basic computer skills to a class of kids who have been using computers since they can remember. Like there was a day where we were learning something like how to send emails. During this time a classmate was able to hack into the school security cameras. It was so crazy that our coach teacher found it funny. Most of the time we just played online games. Edit. Another kid showed us this skateboard ramp instruction site that was basically a picture hosting forum with no moderator. You can imagine what was on it. One of our PE class options was walking fitness. The class would literally walk like 1/4 mile from campus to a coffee stand, buy sugary drinks, then walk back. The class was a joke among students. We had health, which was pretty much 3 months of drugs are bad and 3 months of abstain until marriage. Any actual work could be done while half asleep and you would still receive an A. It was one of the few classes that didn't have a pre-AP alternative, so you had kids in there who really didn't care about school or good behavior at all. 1/4 in my Catholic high school, our religion class was used for sex ed. I literally came out knowing less about sex than I did coming in. I had religion 3 times a week. It wasn't pointless just because it was religion, but also because instead of being taught actual facts about our religion, the priest would just spend the class ranting about contraceptives and what to respond to Protestants if they ever tried to convert us. So I guess I did learn that the word for brother is the same as cousin in ancient Aramaic. Well, coming out of 8th grade Catholic school and going into my freshman year in high school, I had taken pre-algebra in 8th grade. They wouldn't let me skip to algebra when I got to high school, though, so I had to retake the pre-algebra class. Asterisk, they used the same book. Torture. Asterisk. Quick story. Senior year of high school, 1984-1985, I signed up to take physics. Turns out I'm not so good at physics, or any science that involves a lot of math. Towards the end of the fall semester, my physics teacher came to me during lunch and told me there's no way I can pass his class. Since physics was a single credit class, I couldn't earn a 1-2 credit during spring semester. You either got 1 credit or no credit. By not having that 1-2 credit, it meant I wouldn't have enough credits to graduate in May. Guidance counselor puts me in a special class called Career Studies. She says, you take this class and you'll graduate. First morning of the spring semester, I go to Career Studies to find that everyone in there is either a football player or basketball player, and the class was taught by the football coach. We did absolutely nothing but watch movies all semester long. This was pre-VCR days, at least our school had no VCRs. No tests, no books, no note-taking, nothing. Show up, get a 98-100 on your report card. 39 years later, I'm doing civil engineering for a living. It's all math. We had a film class where we just watched movies. Gym. Especially in my high school. Unless it was the mile or the beep test, every day was kickball. Had this class called AVID. Only taught us Cornell note-taking, which was the useless, and made us do binder checks to see if we had notes from our different classes. They claimed it would help us prepare for college. After finishing college close to 4 years ago, I can safely say it was a complete waste of time. History. Not because history is pointless, it's really important and interesting, but because of the way it's taught as a collection of dry facts. I was going to say my Judaism classes, but then I remembered that they educated me so thoroughly on my own religion it turned me into an atheist and actually made me much better at critical thinking. Which was not the point of those classes, but is a useful skill regardless. a Bible storytelling class. It happened for 1 year before that seemingly and quite suspiciously polite teacher started banging up students left and right. He beat Jesus out of my classmates. He was soon kicked out and the class ended. He hated that shit, but we hated the class, so fair game, I say. DAREL.O.L. It was a class called Life After our school name that was a requirement for seniors. It taught stuff like resume building, how to pay taxes, the math behind car loans, mortgages, budgeting, etc. Good information, but no 17 or 18-year-old gave a shit about that stuff and just never paid attention. Funny enough, whenever you see an Reddit thread about what they teach in school, this is the exact class people say they wish they had. But it's really only in retrospect that adults realized it was worthwhile. Teenagers saw it as a blow-off class. I had a teen living class. We just took personality tests for a semester or two. Some pointless ones were the intro class to be able to do woodshop mechanics, etc. Simply because you did nothing except theory for 90% of it, and for some reason home economics was part of it, so many girls died and have the pre-REC to take the cooking class because they didn't want to learn shop classes. Another one was Intro to Tech. It was listed as a requirement if you wanted to take programming videography, but it actually wasn't, so you were basically wasting a credit. The senior year videography course was also a massive waste because we basically learned off pre-made courses, and our teacher didn't have a full grasp on techniques, which meant we spent half our year playing games online because we couldn't mimic specific techniques without it breaking.